Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back. I got a great fight to talk about. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. This fight looks like it's booked for August 17th at UFC 241 Anaheim. This is a rematch, and of course the first fight Cormier knocked out Stipe and claimed the heavyweight title. So let's get right into this match. Stipe Miocic is 6'4" with an 80-inch reach. His style is primarily boxing and wrestling based. He has a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is the former UFC heavyweight champion. Stipe has the record for the most consecutive title defenses in the heavyweight division, which is pretty remarkable. His MMA record is 18 wins and 3 losses. Before Stipe's loss to Cormier, he was on a 6-fight winning streak. Stipe Miocic is a hell of a competitor. He's definitely a UFC Hall of Famer. He has good boxing for MMA, hits like a Mack truck, super tough. He's an NCAA Division I wrestler, so he's difficult to take down, and when he wants to take you down, he can. He has good submission defense. He has extreme confidence and belief in himself, which goes a long way. He's just a killer, man, and a very complete heavyweight UFC fighter. Daniel Cormier is 5'10" with a 72.5-inch reach. He is undefeated at heavyweight, a former Olympic wrestler. He's the former Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix champ, former King of the Cage heavyweight champ. He is currently the UFC heavyweight champ. Fun fact, every promotion that DC has competed in, he's become champion. His total MMA record is 22 wins with 1 loss and 1 no contest. In DC's last 10 fights, he's won 8. Man, what could be said about DC that hasn't been said already? Mixed martial arts legend, another UFC Hall of Famer in my opinion, top-notch wrestling. There are few wrestlers that have competed in the UFC with the accolades in wrestling that DC has. They definitely are out there like Yo Romero, but it's few and far in between at that skill level. Cormier has hammers for fists. If he connects on you clean, you're going to sleep. He's a grinder, as tough as they come. He has a way of breaking opponents similar to Khabib. Once DC gets a hold of you, he works for the takedown and just wears you out with ground and pound. If the submission presents itself, he'll go for that. Very complete fighter, super competitor, super winner, great chin in my opinion, deceptively strong. I mean, you look at DC, he's a big guy, but he's not like muscle bound. He's not shredded, but he's just a tank. Cormier also has a really high fight IQ. He fights to win fights, not necessarily to entertain the crowd. He exploits your weaknesses and goes in for the kill. So how does Stipe and DC match up for the second fight? Man, I'm super excited for this matchup. A lot of people don't agree that Stipe should have had an immediate rematch, but I'm one of the ones that do. I mean, I wouldn't have been upset at that. And that's more based off of Stipe's accomplishments at heavyweight. He was on a 6-fight winning streak and has the record for most consecutive title defenses. Now, if I recall in the first fight, and I haven't seen it in a bit, Stipe was dominating early on. It really looked like DC was having a hard time with Stipe's reach, couldn't really close the distance on him, and was getting tagged a lot. Stipe was pressing action, moving forward. I recall a short grappling exchange where Stipe had DC's back, but then it looked like Stipe started to gas, and Cormier kept the pace, started to land as Stipe's defense got sloppy. They clinched up and DC hit him with a sneaky bomb, and that was all she wrote. In this rematch, I'm really torn on picking a winner. I mean, this is a really tough fight to call. Right now, Cormier is the betting favorite, but not by much. I think both of these guys are pretty evenly matched. I really like what Stipe was doing in the first fight. He was being the aggressor, he was using his range and reach, he was popping the jab, he had a nice 1-2 going on. Stipe's background in wrestling would assist him in his fight, as it did in the first fight. I'm not saying he's a better wrestler than Cormier, but this isn't a straight wrestling match, it's MMA wrestling, which is different. So when you mix in strikes, knees, clinch work, and everything else that goes with MMA, a good wrestler can give a great wrestler problems. DC has to do what he probably was trying to do in the first fight, which is somehow close the distance without taking a ton of damage, dirty box, get in the clinch, do some work there, wear on Stipe, because he's not going to do well on the outside. Stipe will pick him apart. I don't know, even though Cormier is undefeated at heavyweight, and he won the last fight, I feel like this is a tougher fight for him than for Stipe. Stylistically anyway. Stipe got the reach, he got the size. I think he has the more technical and cleaner boxing. Cormier, of course, has the wrestling. I think he has more knockout power. Cardio, I'm probably going to give it a DC, because even though he's a big boy, he can go. I think they both have an equal amount of will and heart. Submission game, probably equal. Yeah, this is a really tough fight to call, but I'm going to make a pick anyway, and I think that Stipe is going to win this rematch. I think he's going to make the right adjustments. He's not going to make the same mistakes as the first fight. Be a little more patient, be a little more measured, and pick DC apart. It would suit Stipe well to study some footage on Jon Jones versus DC. Follow a similar path to victory as that, which is again, keep DC on the outside, don't let him get within range, don't let him clinch up, don't let him land if he clinches up, and of course, avoid the takedown at all costs. You don't want DC on top of you or on your back. It probably feels like a box truck on you. But anyway guys, that's my breakdown for this fight. It's super close. Feel free to let me know who you think is going to win in the comment section and why. Thanks for watching this segment. Really excited for this fight. Can't wait. Thanks for the support, and I'll catch you guys in the next breakdown.